We would like to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Sonic Electronics, so check them out for great deals on speakers, head units, amps, subs, wiring, etc. Use discount code PROVOBEAST for an instant 5% off your next purchase during checkout. PROVOBEAST to another install today. Today we're working on this 2013 Jeep Wrangler, and what we're going to be doing is installing a backup camera to this aftermarket radio. Now what we're going to do is show you how to run all the cables, get the camera mounted, and do a little testing for you. Now the first thing we need to do is pop this radio out. In order to do so, it's actually quite simple. It's only held on with clips. Now what you'll want to do is you can work on both ends here, and we'll show you here in a moment how to pop that out. And then this little top area pops out to expose a screw. You can disconnect the harness from your switches here. Now you can pop the switches out or wait to actually remove the bezel before you disconnect the harness. But that'll give us the access we need. Then an actual 7mm socket fits, but it'll pop the factory or aftermarket radio out, exposing the connections we need. Now up underneath the dash here, this does pop down. Just held on with clips. You just pull from the top on both sides, and there's a 7mm there. And same on the other side, a 7mm. Go ahead and remove those two. Once you've done so, you can actually go ahead and get your finger up underneath each little corner here. Now you gotta be super careful, but just to apply some even pressure, just to pop it on free. Now what it's gonna do is it's just gonna wiggle on loose. Now you may have to pop your switches out, which they're just held on with clips. You can disconnect the main harness from your switch bank here for your power windows. If you have them. And after that, this whole bezel will actually pop right on out. Now once you've uninstalled that dash bezel up and around the radio, you're going to see that the radio itself will have 4 7mm screws as well. There's our main plug that went to our window switches. You can relieve that red little switch, you move it up, and then you just press the tab and it will actually come free. So we're going to go ahead and remove our 4 screws, whether it's an aftermarket or factory radio. The radio itself will come on out, exposing the outputs that we'll need for our RCAs. Alright, so for your backup camera, since we went ahead and pulled the radio out, as we showed previously, you'll need to plug in your video wire, which essentially carries the video from the camera itself into the input on the back of the radio. On our Pioneer, it's this brown RCA input, so we're going to go ahead and plug that in there. Now, you'll need to trigger your radio to go in reverse while the Jeep is in reverse, and to do so, automatically, your purple white wire on your Pioneer wiring harness is your reverse gear trigger wire. If you've wired it right, we've used the PAC Audio RP4-CH11 audio interface, and this provides a reverse turn-on wire when the Jeep is in reverse. So it provides that signal for us, and on this it's a solid green wire, not to be confused with the radio speaker solid green wire, but I'm going to pick this out here for you. That purple wire is from the radio, and that green wire is our reverse gear wire, which will trigger the unit automatically to switch over to that input. So that's all hooked up, and what we're going to do is get this radio back in the dash. Okay, we got the radio all back in. Backup camera wire is installed, and our purple white wire is connected into our radio interface, allowing us to receive that input while in reverse. So that's good to go. Let's go ahead and reassemble the dash. Alright, so we have a little bit more light here this morning. We went ahead and ran our backup camera video wire from underneath the dash, because it came down from the radio as you saw previously. What we're going to do is now run it up underneath the carpet, follow along this factory kick panel, and from here continue this along. And what we're going to be doing is working our way over to the license plate area, fitting right here. Okay, so in preparation for the backup camera license plate, what we're going to do is pull this out so we can start running wires behind our license plate frame. Now, you got these 2 bolts, a 7mm does fit, so go ahead and remove those, and that allows us to have access back behind this unit so we can start running the cables into the cabin of the Jeep. Alright, so we went ahead to remove those 2 bolts. Don't forget, There's actually 2 up underneath as well. Once you remove those, you'll actually be able to pull this aside, which gives you more so access to run cables through. Just went ahead and tucked it back behind the carpet, and then there's a little gap right here which you can just tuck the wire down, and I kept tucking, and this is where I made it. So I'm going to continue just tucking the wire. Now if you feel comfortable, you can actually remove those panels, but since this gauge of wire for the video cable is so small, it just fits super easily when you tuck it up underneath the panel. Just ensure that it doesn't slip out or get in the way of anything else. So continue to run that along, and we're going to work our way to the back. Alright, so we kept tucking it. Now back here you can actually pull the carpet back, and as you can see there's the wire, and I zip tied it to the existing loom, and you can pull the carpet back. And what we did is we ran it all the way along to the back corner of the Jeep. So we're going to go ahead and put all this carpet back in. Just like so. That's the way it was supposed to be. And we're good there. Okay, at this point we need to get access through the panel here to the license plate area. So we're going to run our video cable and mount it on the license plate frame. So what we need to do is remove this panel. Fortunately, it's just this piece. What we're going to be using is a T30 Torx bit and a ratchet, so we can do these 2 bottom bolts. And then the rest are held on with clips. This piece actually wraps up and around, so you'll have to separate this piece, which we kind of have already in preparation for this. So we're going to get started. Alright, so we went ahead and we're going to stop there because we've pulled this back enough to expose this grommet, which gives us access to run cable through the rear fender out this hole to the license plate area. So we're going to now start fishing wire up through. We also have to pull the back light out because we need to tap into the rear light for power for our camera. Okay, so we're going to head and remove all 4 bolts, and as you can see, only 2 of them actually go through the rear fender, the rear panel of the Jeep. Now this allows us access. You can actually feel your finger through that hole there, and we can run it down through. Now also, on our light, we need to tap into our wiring for a reverse camera. The camera needs to pick up the power and ground off our reverse light, so when those lights turn on, it powers up the camera, and then the radio up front displays what the camera sees. Alright, so we went ahead and we use T-taps. Now you're welcome to strip the wire and heat shrink and solder. You're welcome to use butt connectors. You can use whatever you like. I recommend at least something that has some sort of wire protection, kind of like this. They have these plastic pieces over it, or something that you can seal it with, being a Jeep. But your positive is your white green and your negative is the solid black here. What we did is this is the power wire to our camera, and we put these ends on, little T-taps, and this will plug into the red plug on the camera. Now we ran our video wire through the grommet. As you can see here up above, we poked a hole through that grommet as well, so we can run the wire through and put the grommet back in so it seals around the wire. So we're ready to put this all back together. And so we have our power plug for our camera, our video plug as well. We're going to bundle everything up and zip tie it to the existing harness inside the actual fender itself, and reassembly. Okay, so we went ahead and ran our wire just through the license plate holder up through that hole. Now at this point we need to connect our red plug and our yellow plug to our other harnesses. Alright, so the light's all back in, good to go. I got this temporarily mounted in case we have to, I mean it's a little tight with this light, so we may have to readjust a little bit, but it's all hooked up and put back together. So is the interior panel. All good to go, so let's go ahead and do a test before we button things up. Alright, so we went ahead and got our radio all back in place, everything's cleaned up. Now let's go ahead and put it in reverse. There we are. Pretty cool. The back out of reverse. Perfect. Let's go get everything buttoned up in the back. Alright, so we went ahead and got our camera, everything mounted. Nice and snug. Now this bolt holds it in, and this bolt, typically they don't have actual screws on that side, so I drilled and actually put a nice 10mm bolt there as well. All put back together. All super clean. If you have any questions about this install, just go and post it comment below. Thanks guys for watching the channel, and we will see you in the next video.